My name is Terral. I work for Mitsubishi Electric, and today we're going to talk about the future of automation.
Hey there, Terral. Thank you so much for joining me today. I really appreciate it. I know you've got a lot going on in your day.
Okay, I'm glad to be here. Glad to be invited.
So obviously, I know all the great things that you do, but would you mind letting the people watching know who you are, where you're from, and what you do?
Okay, well, my name is Terral Childs. I work at Mitsubishi Electric Automation, located in a Chicago suburb. I've been working here for almost 20 years. I'm about 19 and a half. What I do now here at the company, because I kind of moved around a bit, being here so long, is mechatronics, engineering department. And basically that's a mix of disciplines from CNC to robot to just automation and covering all these things in a very broad discipline from just having all the experience and the things that I've had in different departments and working with all the machines and robots and just from wiring to actually programming. It's just like a mix of disciplines basically is what the mechatronics area brings, and that's kind of what I do now here at Mitsubishi.
So over the course of 20 years, what's been your favorite role, I guess?
The one I'm currently in right now. This has probably been, I've learned and kind of hit my peak almost here. I've always been growing with the company and learning new things and kind of stepping up and stepping here and then just getting a broad view of exactly what this industry is. And right now, I think this is the most engaging and challenging of them all. And I'm really happy with it.
Okay. And, over the course of your career, I'm sure you've seen a lot of technology come out and about. What's been the most exciting development that you've seen?
Well, a lot to do with robots and their interaction with in the human world, as far as the close interaction with robots and how they're starting to even get even more popular as demand increases for work and labor. So we have the robots coming into place and learning more about them. That's probably been just seeing the growth of this and how fast it's growing has probably been some of the most things I've come across too. And then also 3D printing world too. That is also, I've kind of gotten to that in the past couple of years and kind of been working with that on a daily basis. And I'm really excited about that and how fast that's coming along and what it's got to come in the future.
Very cool. And what types of new technologies, if you had to take a guess of, where manufacturing is going to be, 10 years from now, where do you see it going?
I just see it's always going to be here, automation wise and industry wise or technology. It just grows so fast, and it's really difficult to see, or not difficult, but it's hard to kind of pinpoint where I guess it would be, but it'll be more of like I said, automation or autonomous things happen automatically, AI, artificial intelligence growing, kind of things like that will be, I think, the main thing going forward. Just as computers get faster, cell phone technology gets better, software gets better, and just the communications get better. I think it's just, sky's the limit for tech and automation. Yeah. And it's going to keep growing and it's growing at a really fast rate.
Yeah, absolutely. It's, one every year, you already think that you're concurrent and that you're obsolete before you've even developed something most of the time. So,
Absolutely.
Which is exciting and scary at the same time.
Yeah.
So I know that Mitsubishi is working on a new program called DiamondWorks. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, DiamondWorks is Mitsubishi's version of the workforce development program.
Okay.
So workforce development basically is Mitsubishi outreaching to universities, colleges, maybe even employees and employers to kind of give them the educational skills using tailored simulators or products to kind of help them along and learn and get their foot in the door in automation. So we want to get the workforce, especially in this area, up to par so they're out to go get a job in the field if they're, really interested in it, and kind of get a good idea of what automation is, what these machines do, robots, and many other different disciplines that they want to get into. And that's kind of what the workforce development brings to it. And Mitsubishi's version of it is a really strong demand for these skills, and we want to kind of give our take on that and play our role in growing the workforce in America.
So at what age, if somebody's interested in manufacturing, at what age would you suggest that somebody start exploring that possible career?
So that, as far as age goes, I think the young as possible. A lot of kids, or even I would say maybe even like high school or like maybe 7th, 8th grade, kind of spark the interest there, and let them know that the things that they're using right now, even with their computers and their iPads and their phones, a lot of this tech is developed in our industry. And if they're interested in that and they're always want to do something like that, they can learn how it's done, or how to make it better. Just kind of open their eyes up to what this industry is. And so I think the younger the better, especially just to kind of put their hands on it and actually see it and know that it's related to them.
Yeah.
Or relative to them. Yeah.
And what kind of advice would you give them? Like if they're considering this career, what would you tell a younger Terral looking back?
I would definitely say do your research and get out there. And once you do your research and you kind of got a good understanding from, doing yourself and looking up as far as YouTube, Google, and all these resources that are out there and that you guys use, look up about it. And then if you're really interested in it, you can contact people like myself or like you or people in the industry. You could even call. I would say just kind of work toward what you want, as far as if you're really interested, you know what I mean? As far as doing your research and then speaking to people, letting them know what you're interested in, and ask a lot of questions, and kind of dig, just don't stop, if you're really, willing to do it, just pursue it, I would say, you got everything in front of you, so you just got to make the effort.
And what's the benefit for a student to learn on let's say a Mitsubishi control? What do they get out of that experience?
Well, they get the overall experience of what it's like to work with a NC machine, or I'm sorry, a machine tool, or so they basically can relate it to even like their iPad, because everything is touchscreen now. So you use the touchscreen and you say, oh, this is just a computer. And that's exactly what it is. So it's a computer and you just learn navigation. And as you read and you go along and follow along with the screen, it'll start to come together to exactly what you're trying to accomplish. You can even start with something simple as a diamond and see how it connects. And you can kind of follow along and then kind of scroll along with the navigation on the control just to get the understanding of what you're doing. Mm-hmm.
So would you say it's pretty user-friendly, like easy for somebody, let's say like me, to learn, or what's...
Absolutely. Okay. And I think that's one of the great things about our control, Mitsubishi control versus everyone else, is that it is very user-friendly, and we've heard of great feedback about it. We even have like guidance and manuals within the control. So if you come across a phrase or something you don't understand about speed and synchronization and all the other terms that may be in there, you can always hit a button and it'll just give you a nice simple definition of what it means. And if you stay there for a while, Michelle, I'm pretty sure you can get it. It'll be no problem. Just kind of navigate, and everything is right there laid out for you.
I'm going to challenge myself one day to sit there and see if I can put something together.
Yeah, absolutely. I'll be hovering, but I guarantee, I know you can get it.
You may get a phone call or two.
That's okay. Call me anytime. But yeah, it is user friendly in comparison to a lot of them. And then I think if you spend a lot of time, or you spend enough time on anything, especially for the people that's really interested in it, you get it. You have to invest the time and you get it.
Awesome. So Terral, we put out a post online and we asked people to share with us their questions about manufacturing. Do you mind helping me answer one of them?
All right. What's that?
All right. The question is, Who uses CNC machines? It's a pretty broad question, but I'm sure you're the right guy to help me answer it.
Yeah. I mean, that's a great question because, a lot of people use, I'll say a lot of industries, companies use NC machines, and it's all around us. I mean, you can even go as simple as the watch on your arm. These guys use it. Your phone makers, even down to the laptop and everything that you use every day. They use NC machines because they actually create a lot of the parts and a lot of the metal parts that you see and that you even touch every day. So it's very broad and it's all around you. You're probably wearing something that uses a NC machine as we speak. Yeah. So they're all around, and it steps outside of just electronics too. So it's very, very broad.
Awesome. What is the coolest part you've ever made?
The coolest part I ever made? That's a very good question. So many.
You can share a few if you have a few.
Well, I mean, okay, so lately I've been getting into 3D printing. Okay, so I mean, 3D printing is basically still using the CNC concept. It still uses NC control, and it is still a machine. It's the same concept. So some of the coolest things that I've used with that was even 3D printing like dragons or just different cool things like little Star Trek, Star Wars things, and all these type of little geeky components and things that I've used, or even I could even take it and create like a robot gripper for my robots to pick up things. So it allows you to be creative. So whatever you can think of and kind of draw and sketch out, you can slowly develop it using the NC machines.
Okay, and what about like materials wise? Do you think that 3D printing, with those materials, is there a future in manufacturing there?
Oh, absolutely. And it kind of relates back to what I said about the gripper. Yeah, I mean, instead of me going out and purchasing an expensive piece of material for my robot to come down and pick it up, I can just make it in my software and print it out on my 3D printer, or even cut it on the NC machine if I want to use metal. And there you have it. So yes, there's definitely a big demand, or I think I see a big field for 3D printing. Yeah, absolutely. And it's growing fast too. So.
Yeah, it's very exciting. I think 3D printing is kind of the gateway, I think, for students as well and young people. They can see themselves make something fun and then take those skills and make something for, let's say, more of a manufacturing production end. So
exactly. Key for the kids too. Make it fun. I'm all about that. Do some cool things. Do things that you are interested in, and that in turn just helps you learn about it, I think.
That's great. And, we're very appreciative for everything that you guys are doing. We all know that education is key. And I know that your new program is going to help us, really get some more skilled workers out there. I know here at LaVille on our own, there's a labor shortage just hiring people with those skills. So I think Diamond Works is going to be really great. I will say one last thing. I know that you yourself started at a young age. What was that spark for you, and what got you interested in it?
That's a good question. My young age, I guess, would be like early 20s. I wasn't even aware of what controls were or what CNC was, let alone exactly how robots work or anything like that. So I actually started here at Mitsubishi in customer service. I was in my department, and they did a tour for me, and that's when my eyes opened up, and I saw all the things around me as far as the motherboards and all the chips and all the parts laying around and the motors, and that sparked me right there. And I knew what I wanted to do when I laid my eyes on this stuff. I've always been interested in tech anyway, and I've always been geared toward computers and taking them apart, but I didn't know that the manufacturing world existed, and that kind of sparked for me. So once I heard that and figured that out, I went and talked to some people within the company. As time goes on, I went on here and asked what I need to do to be a part of it and how can I grow. And I got some good advice from people here, and I kind of followed through.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Still 20 years later, I'm still here.
And now you're giving it back too. You got all that great advice, and now you're sharing it and keeping it going. So that's great.
Yeah, paying forward. I think I owe that much, at least, to help someone, achieve something that they want to achieve in this industry, and then reach out my hand where I can.
That's awesome. Well, Terral, I want to thank you for reaching out your hand and helping me today and having such a great conversation. I really appreciate it.
Oh, anytime.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.